Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law. Through this channel I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. So if anybody's not aware of this is a genuine investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategic or compound return investing. So the objective is try to get 201 trades, each with an average return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades, we do take into account losses. So for further details about how to join us for less than $9 a month, information is available in the description below. Today's video, we're going to be looking at MMTLP and the steps that Nextbridge Hydrocarbons could take to give us resolution and payment. We're also going to be looking at ticker symbol SERV Serve Robotics, which is a stock that we have been watching. There has been a tremendous bounce today, so we're going to have a look at that. So before we get started, let's have a look at what's happening in the market. So we can see here, first headline is stating that from CNBC that this correction is healthy and somewhat inevitable, but may not be over. So Nasdaq did enter correction territory, and I think there was a significant crash in the markets, and we can see here from Monday almost a clean sweep of green, including the tech sector, communication sector and also the energy sector. But if we have a look at what's going on now in terms of today, from CNBC we can see now that the Dow Jones is rallying 300 points, the S&P 500 is up 1% as Wall Street is rebounding from the sell-off, and I think the overall fears are that potentially recession may not be a big thing. So from investing.com we can see that in terms of how buyers have reacted to this, especially on Monday, we can see here that institutional investors bought the dip, retail traders sold aggressively. So this is not a good strategy. So before we look at MMTLP, I'd like to give a shout out here to Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, who has in excess of 3.5 million followers. And what she posted earlier in terms of the markets is she stated here that these brokerage firms are reporting errors for all the retail investors, while institutional investors were able to make trades. So she believes that that means there are too many platforms to be a coincidence. And she's also stating here, was the control to stop panic selling in order to prevent a crash. And go ahead and call me a conspiracy theorist. So I'm not going to call her a conspiracy theorist, but if we have a look at the brokers she's tagged in, these include Charles Schwab, Ameritrade, Fidelity, Vanguard, Interactive Brokers and also Robinhood. First thing I'd like to share with you is a post from Pulte, who stated, "I would like to thank the SEC. That is all I am allowed to say for now." So a little bit cryptic, but he goes on to say, "We're uncovering a big scandal, a big scandal, and in 6 months the press is going to regret having to tell you it in towards the end of the 6 months, but they've been bullied into silence." More on that later. So we don't know exactly what this is, whether or not this is to do with MMTLP or GME or anything else, we're not sure. What Scott has stated is, "Let me be a voice and ask 2 simple questions. If the action takes place in 6 months, then potentially there could be an issue with regard to statute of limitations if it involves MMTLP. And the other one, if it is earth-shattering, why not bring it forward?" So I'm going to go back to Pulte's earlier post where he states, "I am not allowed to say for now." So that could be for legal reasons, could be for contractual reasons, or it could be for an agreement with whoever the information is from, but certainly an interesting post. The next update I'd like to share with you is from Scott, and he posted earlier that the subpoenas are going out, and he has 6 signed and stamped subpoenas for documents, email records, computer files and trading records. So he's awaiting for a response from number 7, and that one I don't think has been named, but let's have a look at the 6 subpoenas that he's talked about. Number 1, he's talking about Gary Gensler, and he's looking for electronic blue sheets for MMTLP that existed on 8th of December 2022. Then surprisingly, he's also doing one for Greg McCabe. I'm not sure this is a good idea, but certainly it's as an individual he is free and able to do this, but he's looking for documents of all 105 broker dealers from Greg McCabe and Nextbridge Hydrocarbons. So Frank Lasalla, the DTCC president, is also number 3, and he is looking for allotment of MMTLP long shares from Frank. Number 4 is Martin Flanagan, the CEO of formerly known, what we know as AST, currently EQ. He's looking for documents showing the number of shares traded, transferred into Nextbridge Hydrocarbons, because officially we do not have that information, and it has not been publicly shared, so that would be an interesting one. Kathy Bell is also on the list from Hilltop Securities, and looking for data and documents showing Hilltop trades in MMTLP. And finally, Ken Griffith the CEO of Citadel, and he's looking for all trade records of TradeUp trading entity moving through Citadel as part of payment or order flow agreement with TradeUp for ticker symbol NXBR and torch.cnt from 9th of December 2022 to present. So in terms of the latest update, Scott has just posted and stated Hilltop Securities have agreed to be served by email, and now 6 more to go. Let's now have a look at the suggested 4 steps that NextBridge Hydrocarbons could potentially take to get us paid. And in response to James, who posted about potential value of the share price, his first one is based on the 8th of December 2022, and I think at that time the oil price was valued approximately $72.29 per barrel, giving an estimated share price of $819 to $1,327 per share. So he's now updated that, and he states it could be now on the, based on the 2nd of August 2024, based on a price of oil for $74.14 for a share price between $569 to $903, again estimated. But what has been posted in response to that by El Castas with regard to potentially getting us paid in 4 steps is number 1, NextBridge Hydrocarbons would have to issue a statement saying that they true oil exists and potentially how much oil exists. Number 2, that would give us a share value, so again, good point there. And number 3, sell the 40 million shares at a high price. So I'm assuming this is going to be shared to people who are short in NextBridge Hydrocarbons, so those 40 million shares would then generate significant revenue for NextBridge Hydrocarbons, and that should be distributed to the shareholders. And finally, number 4, allocate part of the money to continue with the extractions and the rest to pay dividends to the shareholders. Is that so difficult? So again, it is logical, but behind the scenes we do not know really what is going on. But what James has stated, perhaps NextBridge is being intentionally vague, so a value cannot be placed on the shares before the 40 million share offering is approved, and that way McCabe can also slap an arbitrary value on them to make the shorts feel some pain. So that is a good point, and that could be a reason why a specific value or share price has not yet been discussed. Finally, let's finish off by having a look at ticker symbol SERV, also known as SERV Robotics. This is a stock that was called out today exclusively in our stock alerts channel in the Discord, and now has also been featured in a number of previous videos, so go ahead and check those out. So let's have a look at what happened today for SERV Robotics, and currently at time of editing it's up close to 24.74%, currently trading around about $16.99, showing quite a significant amount of volatility, but certainly a strong bounce and strong recovery. So in terms of a key reminder of the company, this is a company that is looking at developing advanced AI powered low emission sidewalk delivery robots that endeavour to make delivery sustainable and economical. So in terms of key highlights, we can see that obviously they place SAMO in everydays in LA. They also have announced a go public transportation and $30 million in financing, which is positive news. And they've also announced a commercial deal with Uber to deploy up to 2,000 robots. And finally, let's have a look at a reminder of the partners and investors. These include Uber Eats, 7-Eleven, Nvidia and Delivery Hero. So certainly a stock that we have been watching, extremely volatile, but potentially with the huge chance of a good reward in the future, but certainly needs to be traded with care. Finally, if you would like to get a copy of our daily stock alerts as well as the weekly watch list, details are in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.